football. We're here for the Liverpool versus Leicester watch along. Very, very excited about this game. I just saw somebody in the live comments. Where is he? The game has started. You're clearly full of shit, mate, because the game has not started. It is 2 minutes to 3 o'clock, and we do not start our games early here. So the game has not started. It is still a couple of minutes away to kick off, and we can give you the team news. But look, we'll be keeping an eye. We'll be taking a full abreast. I'm using that word, abreast. We'll be taking a full abreast approach of all the games going on at 3 o'clock today, including Nottingham Forest, because they're playing at 3 o'clock. I'm joking. But Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs have lost to Brighton. I never predicted that. I thought, after the Champions League game they'd have a hangover, and it shows you how big hangovers can be. But Liverpool got Adrian in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Lovren and Van Dijk with Robertson, Milner, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino, Mane. So their best team really, apart from Lovren playing. Surprised about that. Don't know what Liverpool fans think why Gomez wouldn't play, but there you go. Leicester, Schmeichel, Pereira, Evans, Soyuncu, Chilwell and Didi, Barnes, Tielemans, Prayat, Maddison and Vardy. So very, very strong team for both. I mean, you look at the bench of Leicester these days. Morgan, Damari Gray, Marcus Albrighton, Ward, Perez, Chowdhury. They've got a little bit of depth. I mean, you could say that their bench is as strong as the one that Liverpool have put out. But I'm very excited about this game, and I hope that you lot are as well. Spurs, very, very, very surprised to hear what's gone on with them today. But I need to get you the timer as well, because we are very, very close to kick off. Look, my hope from this game today is that we actually get a performance from Leicester that befits that befits what a lot of people think about them. So I've got that on in the radio in the background. I just need to turn that down. Spurs at their worst are still better than United right now, says AB. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. United play Spurs on the 3rd of December. 6 points if ever there was one, says Jordan Such. There's a lot of football to go before then. The Loris injury looks bad yet. Well, I can hear You'll Never Walk Alone, so we're definitely listening to the right thing. Makes you want to throw up, doesn't it? But in fairness, it doesn't bring a tear to my eye. It brings absolutely nothing of the sort. Right, I will start the timer for you very, very soon. Okay. We're off. It's not on the TV in the UK, so earpiece in and we're up and running. We've got you covered. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We will be keeping an eye about all the games as well. Eddie, I'm very, very well. Very, very well indeed. I'm a little bit late because I've actually just bonus material for the United stand, and I think a lot of people will like it on here. I've just done a Newcastle United preview with the True Geordie, which will be going up on the United stand at 8 o'clock tonight. So a little bit of bonus content there. He doesn't normally do fan channel stuff, so I've got a few cameos from Lawrence as well, who I think low key is better than Brian. I don't really. I think they're equally good, but yeah, really, really, really pleased to get that preview done because he's a Newcastle fan, and I wanted to know about Sean Longstaff, so that'll be on the United stand later. Ollie out, Poch in, says Tanzin Theo. What's going wrong with Spurs? What's going wrong with Spurs though? Mark, do you think Pochettino will be sacked before Ollie, and do you think Lloris being out will affect Spurs? Joel Morris. I think yes, it's going to massively impact on them. Do you know that Spurs were top of the league for goalkeeper saves this season, which shows you that, you know, Spurs are giving up a lot of chances. They're giving up a lot of chances. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Spurs, because I've seen it at United as a United fan. I've seen it under Moyes, I've seen it under Van Halen, I've seen it under Mourinho, when players stop playing for the manager, and those players have stopped playing for that manager. So Spurs are in trouble. They've spent money, and that's a big thing. Mark, do you trust Pochettino to come good at United given his recent form? Mark, do you think the ex-United players don't attack Ollie and the club because they think it will ruin their reputations as great players, says Amy Assey? I don't really know. To be honest with you. In relation to this Liverpool-Leicester game, quite an equal start so far. Leicester have had plenty of the ball as well. I think Liverpool will win this, is my prediction. I think Liverpool will come out 2-0 because they're a very good team. I don't think that's anything to do with Leicester being a bad team. I think they're a good team as well, but I just think they will get the better of them. I can't believe people in the UK can't watch it. How backwards is that, says Mr. Craig 23. It's annoying because Liverpool versus Leicester should be a game. And there's a bit of a foot chase going on there between the Leicester defender and Salah, but the Leicester defender does really well. The same Leicester defender that I can't pronounce his name, and the same Leicester defender who gave the penalty away against Marcus Rashford. Salah shoots, Schmeichel makes a good save. I'm listening to it on 5 Live Extra. It'll be on lots of local radio stations as well. Yeah, so big announcement. I've just finished a Manchester United Newcastle preview with the True Geordie, which will be on the channel. Comfortable save for Schmeichel there, but it's Dalraj Gamers says that it's going to be 2-2. And Logi Rex says, I thought we were bad, but Spurs are terrible. Sayunchu, says Matthew Sims, thank you. Call him the Big Turk, says Bryn Holdcroft. I think that's a big game today as well. Norwich Villa as well. Thanks for the little laughy place, Zayn Mayassi. And Liverpool are looking to stretch Leicester a couple of times. Salah's sort of tried to make a breakthrough, but it's been stopped. Burnley and Everton, Norwich and Villa, Watford and Sheffield United. I mean, they're not great games, if I'm honest with you, but some interesting games in the Championship as well, if I can tell you that. Derby play Luton. Luton have done so well to get into the Championship. I didn't even know they were in the Championship. Well done to Luton. How have you got into the Championship? I didn't even know you were in it. That's superb. Millwall Leeds. Whoa. That'll go off. And QPR Blackburn. Swansea are winning against Stoke. That's the only goal we've got at the moment. We are sponsored, I think. Let me just double check by this. Let me just double check. I hope I've done this right. Yes, we are. We're sponsored by the OneFootball app today for the stream. So please do download it. It's available on Apple and Android. We'll be flipping through that onto some stats, and we've got so many games to go through. Actually, we'll start on that early. What's your thoughts on Spurs and Pochettino, Mark? Says Jal Singh. Well, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Mark, I really enjoyed the interview with James Cooper. Really good it was. Thanks, Jordan. I love having James Cooper on the United stand. He's a brilliant interviewer, a brilliant reporter, very close to Manchester United, very close to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and a very good interview to watch if you want to watch it on the United stand. A really interesting insight on why Manchester United have picked up so many injuries as well. The fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer works them so hard in the summer. Southpaw Love Sports says, I wonder if the players quit on Poch when he said he would have left and had they won the Champions League last year. You don't know, mate. You just don't know. But you can download the OneFootball app. The link is in the video description. We're just going to pop onto that now and just want to check the matches. Tottenham. Aaron Connolly was the man of the match for them. But statistically, just take a look at this. 52% possession to Southampton, which is what... Sorry, Spurs, which is what you'd accept. 4 corners each. Goals 3-0. But this is the most telling bit. 17 shots for Brighton to Spurs 8. 6 shots on target to Spurs 3. I mean, look, that wasn't a smash and grab. Brighton totally deserved the win. They had more shots on goal at half-time. They've had more shots on goal at full-time. Total passes, Spurs had more. But, you know, realistically, Spurs, with the team that they put out, you've got bloody... Alexander-Arnold's just had a good shot there. And it's gone for a corner. hold on a minute. We'll come back to that. Good running by Robertson down the wing. Cross comes back out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he catches it really, really well, and it goes for a corner. Mark, I still can't send super chats on the United stand, says Zayn Miasi. You did last night, mate. I'm going to look into that while we're live, actually. So Spurs, sorry, it's not Spurs. Liverpool starting to take a little bit of control here. Eric Magoo thinks he can see Leicester scoring first. But that Spurs lineup included Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Davies, Sissoko, Ndombele, Eric Dyer, Lamela, Eriksson, Son and Kane. It's better than a 3-0 performance. It's better than a 3-0 performance. I thought we'd had a goal in one of the other games there. We haven't. Mark, United have spent 900 million since 2013. I think that's more than City have bought better and had Pep. That's the difference. I'd agree with that about United. I would agree with that about United. But yeah, I mean, look, let me just tell you what's going on in this game as well. We've only been going for literally 10 minutes. I'm going to predict a Liverpool win. 80% of people on the OneFootball app are predicting a 1-0 win. The good thing about the OneFootball app is you can predict the score before the game, but actually in the second half you can also vote for man of the match as well, which is what I like. But so far, 65% possession to Liverpool. They've had one shot on goal. Leicester, nothing so far. And passes 66-35. So it's all Liverpool at the moment, and Leicester maybe a little bit of a different approach. You can download the OneFootball app. They're sponsoring the show for us today. The link's in the video description. It's on Apple and Android. And if you do download it, you can follow your club and get all your latest news on there as well, which we'll talk about in a few minutes' time. But Liverpool started off very, very well in this game. It's 0-0. That's why it says it on the screen, the Ghost. Liverpool are such a better team, says Minecraft Yeet. I mean, Liverpool are top of the league. Liverpool are top of the league, justifiably. If you're a Leicester City fan or you want Leicester to win it, I've got nothing against the way they've started this game. You don't go to Anfield and go gung-ho. You've got to keep yourself organised. You've got to defend well. You've got to keep yourself in the game. Look to hit them on the break. I think Leicester went to Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago as favourites and sort of got lost in that moment of being favourites. They didn't really know how to approach the game and they ended up getting counter-attacked. They got the penalty and United sat back. But in this game, I think Leicester, it's about taking it 10 minutes at a time, staying into the game. James Mumford, I've got it on the radio in my left ear. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. We could get 94,000 subscribers today. We're getting really close to 100,000, which would be great for this channel. 94,000 is what we're going for today. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, just click the share button. You can share it on Twitter and Facebook. Liverpool versus Leicester watch along. I've been looking forward to this game all week. I mean, this is what this channel's all about. Obviously, I do the United stand. Manchester United's my priority. But I watch a lot of other football. And I think much like Manchester United versus Leicester a couple of weeks ago, I'm disgusted that this is not on the TV. I can't understand why it's not on the TV. Leicester, Liverpool. It's the tie of the weekend. What have we had? Bloody Spurs, Brighton, which was good to watch if you wanted to Spurs to lose. Crystal Palace, are they the 5:30 kickoff? Yeah, West Ham, Crystal Palace, and then obviously tomorrow, United, Newcastle, which is great from a United fan point of view, but it's not really a great game, is it? I'll be at the game tomorrow. Hope to see Flex, as said Jamie. Get yourself down there, mate. Get on the fan cams, definitely. Derby are 1-0 up against Luton. And would you take Haaland and Ben Pearson's class players, says Owen J? I think United need a little bit more experience, to be honest. Oh, Milner with a great chance. Alexander with the cross, and it's Milner who misses, and he should have scored, as people in the live comments are saying. Jordan Such, is Martial available for tomorrow's game? We think so, but we've just had a really good chance here. Alexander-Arnold keeping it on, and Milner on the back post, shooting not into the back of the net. Wide. Thanks for the contribution, Zayn Miasi. And what did you think of Lloris's injury, says Toby Seth? Oh, it was nasty. It was nasty, wasn't it? But that's the chance of the game for James Milner, and he's put it wide. Lovely. It would have been another assist for Alexander-Arnold. No keeper was saved. Well, it's a good chance. Anyone seen Alien is Dog? Anyone seen The Joker? I mean, I'm not going to do any spoils, but basically, he's a clown thing with red lipstick. But what a film! What a film! You've got to go and see it. And Aston Villa are 1-0 up the Villa. UTV. I do want Villa to win. It's sort of my a lot. Yeah. Wesley scored the goal for Leicester for Villa. He's Brazilian. Aboud, I'm listening to it on the radio, which is why I'm getting a lot of updates as well. I think the sad thing is as well is it's not on UK TV as we know, but also wherever you're watching it around the world, whether it's Australia or America, I can tell from the live comments that you're actually getting it about 5 seconds ahead of what we're getting it on the radio as well. Disgusting that this is the UK Premier League and we're getting second-hand information. I know it's only a few seconds, but I just think it's really poor. Hello, Mark, and hello, Zane. As a Spurs, I'm Poch in, says Alvin Blocks. Leicester just had a good break there with Barnes. Puts a good cross into the box, but Leicester just don't have players in the box. Apparently Leeds have had a red card, says WDMB. I actually quite like doing a stream at 3 o'clock if there's a decent 3 o'clock game, because there's so many other games going on that you can sort of get involved in. And Samuel Moss says that Joker is my favourite film of all time. My favourite player for United, Aaron, is Martial, and apparently he's back. Well, he is back in training this morning. Whether that means he can play tomorrow or not, I don't know. He's going to be very, very rusty, isn't he? Because if he's only just back in training, we've got a 2-week break. If he plays him tomorrow and he breaks down, it's a risk, but it's probably a risk that he's got to take. So Millwall have got a penalty. Leeds have had a man sent off. Mr. A says, are Liverpool playing Salah through the middle because of the lack of backtracking from him? It's needed against Leicester's fullbacks. Mr. A, it's probably a very good point, to be honest with you, because Leicester's fullbacks will get forward, although they've not really got forward in this game. And Zayn Miasi says, Mark, if we had played the same team we used against the Belgian team, we would have won against you, but Emery is a coward. And Millwall are winning 1-0 from that penalty. Leicester starting to come into this game a little bit more now, approaching that 20-minute mark of the game. Do you like Joy Division in the Smith, says Mr. Mitt. I do. Liverpool in possession at the moment, just building up patiently. Very interesting set of games for Liverpool, which is what I was just checking there. Very interesting set of games for Liverpool at the moment, because they've got they've got Leicester today. They got United straight after the international break. If Liverpool were to get 6 points from these 2 games, I think that, as I said, I predicted Liverpool to win the title. I did. And a lot of people said, why are you doing that as a United fan? Well, because I think that they're a big threat. I think, Champions League winners is no joke. And they basically won the league last year, but Man City were awesome to take it away from them. I don't see Liverpool... I think Liverpool, to me, look even more motivated. I was surprised because I thought they didn't buy anybody in the summer that they should have done, but they seem at the moment to be as consistent as they were last year. And if they can beat Leicester and beat United, which maybe today is the tougher game for Liverpool against Leicester, but at the moment they're just grinding through the gears and they're getting closer and closer to their first goal. Southpaw Love Sports says, are there any other non-English clubs beside Cardiff and Swansea that are eligible to play in the Championship or the Premier League? Wrexham. And Jordan Search, Mark, if Ollie loses tomorrow, should United sack him knowing Pochettino wants out of Spurs whilst the international break is on? Jordan Search. I think that's a good plot for a film, but it's not going to happen. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be sacked if he loses to Newcastle and Liverpool. So, and also, Spurs have got to sack Pochettino. Farah's got the match over on in Canada. Yeah. Let us know what countries you're in and whether you get the game live. We don't get it in the UK. We get radio. Newport County's another one, says Luke Ainsworth. Mark, did you watch the schooling of Poch by Potter today? Says Freddie Mercury. I didn't actually watch it because I was doing this, as I was saying to some people, I was recording a preview with the True Geordie, which is a bonus video we've got to go up tonight on the United Stand. Goldbridge and the True Geordie with Lawrence as well. So we've got a really good preview. Looking forward to get that on. Make sure you get over to the United Stand, subscribe and have your notifications on, because that'll be the next upload tonight. Mark, would you take Eddie Howe? I would, says Timmy H. I think it'd be a risk. I think he would be a risk, to be honest with you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Great to have so many people watching. We are watching the Liverpool Leicester watch along. That's what you're watching, but we will also be giving you updates on all the other games that are going on. Currently 0-0. Please do download the OneFootball app. It's free to download on Apple and on Android. And I can tell you that you can get all the clubs that you follow. You can get all your stats. I can tell you actually that Manchester, because I follow Manchester United on the OneFootball app, the first thing I see is voting on the game tomorrow. And I'm going to vote for a United win. And I can tell you 70% of people on the OneFootball app think that United will win tomorrow. I do. I agree with those 70%. But in relation to the Liverpool-Leicester game, 80% think Liverpool are going to win. Statistically so far, possession is 60% to Liverpool. They've had 2 shots on goal. Leicester not had a shot on goal yet. And passers-wise, Liverpool have had 150 to Leicester's 98. So currently, at the moment, Leicester are winning. Liverpool are winning more duels. Leicester are winning more aerial duels, which is showing you that Trent Alexander's put a few good crosses into the box. Leicester have dealt with them so far, but Leicester, their game plan at the moment, I think, is typical of what an away team should do at Anfield these days. First 20 minutes, keep a clean sheet, and George Carl says Manchester United aren't winning tomorrow. I think we are. Martial's back. Hey Mark, why don't you watch the game online? Love the content, says Specs. We're all right. Thanks for the recommendation. And John O'Brien says, great video with Flex and James Cooper, best United fan channel by a mile. Hey, you've got better content. Well, not better content, because James Cooper I really, really do like. And obviously I like Flex, but you've got Goldbridge and the True Geordie coming up for you as well tonight. Zayn Miasi, Mark, why don't you think Woodward with makeup could look like the Joker? He's got that grin. Rotherham are beating Coventry 2-0, says Luke Ainsworth. So what are your plans tonight? Anybody off to watch the Joker? Bit of a box set? Casualty? Whatever. I'm going to finish watching this, pop down the local pub, couple of pints, nice pub tea. and then back for United Stand 8 o'clock True Geordie show. Looking forward to it. Siddhant Pisharati says Sionku has stepped into Maguire's role so well. Looks like such a solid defender. Could well play for a top 4 side. Very, very good signing for Leicester. I've got to agree with you on that one, Siddhant. I do like him. I think, and this is why teams like your Leicesters, your Southamptons, the clubs that buy these players consistently, and Leicester are very good at it. And then Leicester free kick to Tielemans. Yeah, pressuring Tielemans in his own box actually there, and he bought the foul. But yeah, it's interesting. Martial would not be fit enough to play tomorrow, says Wengy Simmons. I'm hoping he was. Shrewsbury are winning 1-0 versus Tranmere, says Hotchi. Sionku is not a new signing, says Lou McCunnan. Well, he must be relatively new because he stepped into the gap. I mean, I don't know when they bought him. I'm not a Leicester fan, but what I was saying is, and thanks for reminding me, is that, United, they go and buy the Wan-Bissakas, they go and buy the Harry Maguires. But the reality is, Leicester lose Harry Maguire and then they bring a centre-back in who, all right, he might not be as good as Harry Maguire, but he's come in and done a very good job and they've pocketed 80 million. So it's very good business for a club like Leicester. And, if they were to lose Maddison, which I'm sure they will, they'll probably go and bring somebody else in. So you've got to respect and admire these clubs who do that sort of... I respect most clubs that are good in the transfer market because United aren't. Michael Southcombe says, hey Mark, Liverpool got us next. How are you feeling towards that game? I'm from South Wales and I'm going to the game. Do you think I'm being brave? It's interesting because I was talking to the True Geordie and Lawrence was there with him, who is a Liverpool fan. So we're going to get him on for the United Stand next after that. But I honestly do not see how United will get a result against Liverpool other than it's Man United versus Liverpool, much like it was Man United versus Arsenal. It's a different game. Everybody's effort levels go up a bit. So maybe United could get a draw out of that. I don't know. But Goldbridge Soccer Saturday, says Jordan Dollar. It does feel a little bit like that. I'm enjoying it. I've never done like this watch along at a 3 o'clock game before, so it's quite good. I'm enjoying it. Salford have done very well, RB7 FIFA, and I watch every Man United game in Australia at 2:30 AM game Monday, says Ethan Kelly. Yeah, proper fans from around the world, isn't it? That's what it's all about. Still 0-0. Liverpool have sort of been the better team, but they've not managed to break down that Leicester defence yet. Leicester done very little on the break. So gradually, Leicester's starting to come into this game a little bit. And Liverpool seeing the game that I think Klopp would have expected. A well-organised former manager as well. We've not mentioned that, have we? Former Liverpool manager. 10 games in, Bruno Fernandes has got 7 goals and 5 assists. Thoughts, says, doing it well, XX. My thoughts is that we should have took Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United in the summer. My facts are, I know Manchester United were after him. And they, realistically, the rumour is that they didn't sign him because they didn't want to risk another foreign flop. Does Zane give blowies for money, says Owen J. Chance for Liverpool there. Johnny Evans, heads it behind for a corner, but good build-up play by Liverpool. Liverpool have played well in this game, and Leicester have defended well. I think Leicester need to do a little bit more on the counter just to sort of make Liverpool... Because at the moment, Liverpool are just coming in waves. That's what she said. And Leicester are not offering any threat to make Liverpool be a bit scared about leaving the back door open. And you feel that there's a Liverpool goal coming. Hey Mark, would you sell Pogba and sign Maddison and McGinn? Yes. If Podge is sacked, would you sack Ollie for him? Says Karen Banzel. I think in relation to Pochettino to United, Spurs would have to sack him. I think this is very far-fetched, but whether Pochettino is purposely trying to get the sack from Spurs, I don't know. But I think Spurs would be wrong to sack Pochettino as well as United would be wrong to sack Ollie at the moment. Apparently we'd agreed a deal for Bruno Fernandes in January. How true is that? 70 million says Flex47. I've never heard of it. Mane shoots straight at the keeper, says the Revenant. Yeah. Mark, is FIFA worth buying? Says GTA Red Star Gaming. Ask me after my next FIFA stream because I'm struggling with it. I'm probably going to do a stream. It won't be tomorrow because of the United game. So my next stream on FIFA will be Monday. But I did really like it. But I've not won a game in the last 2 days on Ultimate Team. So I've been relegated to Division 7 again. So I've had to mess around with it. But I'll give it a couple of days. 2-0 Villa. 2-0 Villa. 2-0 Villa. Go on, up the Villa. UTV. And Ndidi's been booked. And I think that's the problem with these sort of games as well, isn't it? That justifiable yellow card. Yes, I agree. Justifiable yellow card for Ndidi. We've got you've got a situation with Leicester here whether if they can get a... I've not looked at that, but Leicester went to Old Trafford, lost. They went to they beat Spurs at home, which some would say is quite easy at the moment. If they could get something from this, it'd be a really good result for Leicester. Do I rate Brendan Rodgers, says Luca? I rated him before he went to Liverpool. I rated him at Swansea. Then he went to Liverpool, and like any other United fan, you sort of write him off and say he's a dickhead because he's a Liverpool manager. And so I just totally lost interest in him. Celtic, you can't judge him, but what he's doing at Leicester is very similar to what he was doing at Swansea again. So I think he is a good coach, yeah. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, when we beat you at the Emirates, we'll get the Arsenal shirt on like you promised. Zayn, that was your one chance. Apparently we're going to beat us at Old Trafford. Apparently I was going to wear an Arsenal shirt. As if I'm going to wear an Arsenal shirt if you beat us at the Emirates. It's at the Emirates. That makes you the favourite. The whole deal was that you would beat us at Old Trafford, and you didn't do it. You've lost your chance. What is the most likely destination for Sancho if he leaves next summer, says Lennon14? I would say Liverpool. It's not going to be United because we're not going to be in the Champions League. Would you want Leon Bailey at United, says Boy Young? Yes. He's a miserable guy, though, says Chris M. Liverpool don't look great at the back this year, says Aaron Marassi. Well, Leicester have not exploited that at all so far. And I wonder whether Leicester are like, yeah, a draw would be a good result. I mean, it would be a good result, but I don't think there's going to be many teams that go to Anfield this year and keep a clean sheet. So I think Leicester need to do a little bit more. Because I tell you what, Liverpool will nick this 1-0 if it carries on. You've got to do something going forward, Leicester. Rain Freedom Lesmond Raphael says, why is nobody talking about how god awful Spurs are? We've had a lot of talk about it, Rain. A lot of talk about it, and I think that Arsenal, sorry, Spurs are very weird. I mean, this was the season where they might have won the title or challenged for the title, and they're definitely not. You know, I think if you were United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester, you'd look at Spurs at the moment and go, "Wow, there's a real opportunity to accumulate some points and put Spurs out of this top four race if they're not already." They look beatable by anybody. Oh, chance for Firmino, and he just doesn't make the right connection. But Spurs have already lost to Newcastle at home. They've now lost to Brighton away. They've lost to Leicester away. They're hemorrhaging points. And there is an opportunity for other teams to come through. That was close, says Benjamin Branchett. Ericsson on 75k awake is one of the reasons, says Biggie Smalls. Ericsson doesn't look interested, does he? Ericsson doesn't look like a player that's very interested to be at Spurs at the moment. But we are about 10 minutes away from half-time here, and I think Liverpool will be a bit disappointed if they were to go in the 0-0 at half-time. Leicester would be over the moon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on 93,800 at the moment. It updates every 100 now on YouTube, so please subscribe. We're trying to get to 94,000 today. Just share the video if you have subscribed. If you haven't, bottom right hand corner. And if you are interested in the United stand, we've got two very good videos up today. An interview with James Cooper, who is the Manchester United correspondent. He used to work for MUTV. He's been the Manchester United correspondent for Sky Sports for years, talking openly about Manchester United. And basically, he gets on with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He says he's going to find it very difficult to turn it around. That's up on the channel at the moment. And then this evening, we've got the preview for the Newcastle game with the true Geordie. Cameo from Loz as well, so that's going to be good. I'll tell you, I do really like Ndidi though. I've got him on my FIFA Ultimate Team, but I do really like Ndidi. And RTG says Ndidi is amazing. Who's playing on the right for Liverpool, Mark? Salah is sort of swapping a lot with Firmino. Have you heard about Vertonghen shagging Eriksen's wife? Says Owen J. I had heard about it, but apparently it's not true. Do you do the Super 6 scores? No, Jordan. Chilwell's just put a cross in. It's gone out for a corner. Who is worse, Steve Bruce or Ollie? Says Zemiassi. We'll find out tomorrow. Oh, Tillemans is just down and injured at the moment. Well, VAR is checking for a red card here, but I don't think it will be a red card. It looks like it's a free kick, not even a yellow card, so I don't know why they're checking for a red. Corner and cleared by Liverpool, but a free kick to Leicester. Villa have got a penalty. And be a good win for Villa. It would take them above Norwich because Villa are playing away to Norwich. Villa on 5 points, Norwich on 6 points. Good start to the season for Norwich and the Pookie fans, but Villa would go up to 8 points with a win, and Norwich would be down into the bottom 3 with 6. So a big win for Villa if they can win it. And he's missed it. He's bloody missed it. What a prat. Villa have missed the penalty. It still stays 2-0. Oh, Leicester close with Sionku. Good save by the keeper. And Wesley would have had a hat-trick for says Maddie Rose. That would have been offside anyway for Sionku. I mean, to be honest with you, Sionku should have scored, but it would have been offside. What a prat, says Luca. But it was a great chance for Leicester. He's bloody missed it, says Dia. If you had the chance to replace Ollie, who would you replace him with? Says Dipesh Burrell. I'm not really into it because I don't think Fabinho's getting a yellow card foul on Maddison. So starting to drift a little bit. I feel that Leicester are starting to come into it a little bit more. They're winning a few free kicks. It was definitely a foul by Fabinho. Definitely a yellow card. Few free kicks in there. Bit more of a 50-50 battle now. And Liverpool are in a battle. But as we've seen over the last sort of 9 months with Liverpool, certainly, they can graft their way to results in this sort of a game. Maddison was really good on FIFA 20 until they patched it. And now he's fucking average, to be honest with you. And it's a goal for Liverpool. It's 1-0. It's Mane with the goal. And I was just going to say that it's this sort of time that Liverpool need to be scoring a goal. And they have scored with Mane. And Liverpool will, well, they'll feel that they just seem to get a goal out of everything, don't they? Every single scenario, they seem to be able to do it. And they have. It's I tell you what as well, very similar to the Old Trafford thing for Leicester. The mistake at the back, you know, you do all the hard work, you be competitive, you stay in the game, and it's a ball over the top or down the channel. Johnny Evans doesn't deal with it, and Mane gets ahead of him on the break, and that's it. Leicester have not done that all game. They've not done that all game. They've been playing very, very cleverly. And then it's just that little ball down the left. Johnny Evans doesn't read it as well as he should do. Mane's through. Sionku can't get across. And Mane just rolls it home 1-0 to Liverpool. And that's what I mean. They always seem to find a way in these sort of games. And Leicester and Brendan Rodgers will be gutted with that. Like they were gutted with the goal they gave away at Old Trafford. Because it's just an individual mistake. A lack of concentration. And that's the goal. That's the breakthrough. And now it makes it very difficult for Leicester. Change the score for everybody, but Leicester 1-0 down, and it's Mane. Just a mistake. You can't make those sort of mistakes at these sort of grounds. You will get punished, and Liverpool are relentless at the moment. Buy Bruno and play 4-3-3 and sack Ollie and Pochettino, says Red Devil. Thanks for the contribution, Zane. Do you think Leicester will make top 4, says it's Amiga. Look, to be fair to Leicester, going to Liverpool and losing is not going to be the reason that they don't get top 4. Marnie's a very exceptional player, says Dear. He's a very exceptional player. That's not going to be the reason that Leicester don't get top 4 if they don't get a result today. I actually predicted Liverpool would win 2-0 because I think they're just too good. I think if Leicester go to the Etihad, they will lose. That's the quality that everybody is up against at Anfield now. It's very, very, very difficult. It's very difficult to see Liverpool and Man City dropping points. That's why when City do drop points, you are sort of surprised. You know, the Norwich game was just was stunning, wasn't it? When you look at what Villa are doing at Norwich Carrow Road today, and you think, well, City lost that game. But Liverpool, and they're just so relentless. They're so relentless. And it was always going to be very, very tough for them today. Gold, Peace, Prosperity. Thanks for the contribution, pal. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Johnny Evans made the mistake sacking. I mean, they've been defending so deep, Leicester, against the Liverpool attack. A lot of what they've had to deal with has been crosses, and they've dealt with it fine, apart from the Milner chance. But they just started to come into the game a little bit, got drawn out, and it's a ball down the channel that Johnny Evans does not read it well, and that allows Mane to get in and roll it home. And Mane's nearly scored again, just wide this time. Sorry, he didn't go wide. It was into the keeper's. It was a save by the keeper. He should have scored. Southpaw Love Sports. Remember when United fans were saying Mane would be a Liverpool bust? I was one of those. I was one of those. I didn't want Mane when we had Van Gaal. And you do get things wrong. And I think admitting it, I didn't think Van Dijk was that good. And he's been a very good player as well. But yeah, United were linked with Mane under Van Gaal, and I was like, nah, I don't want him. But then again, I wanted Fabinho, so and that was way before anybody else. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Aston Villa should be 3 or 4-0 up, but it's Magiza. Definitely should be. Let's have a look at the scores around the ground at the moment, actually. So 2-0 to Aston Villa, 0-0 Watford, Sheffield United, 0-0 Burnley, Everton. Everton having the best of that game, apparently, but it's 0-0. I predicted Burnley to win that. Championship. Bristol 1-0 up against Reading. Derby 1-0 up against Luton. Millwall 1 up against Leeds. Penalty. Leeds down to 10 men. Milner's just shot over the bar. Preston 1, Barnsley 0. Sorry, Barnsley 1, QPR 1, Blackburn 0. Swansea and Stoke 1-1, and West Brom are 2-0 up against Cardiff. So a few goals in the Championship. Not many in the Premier League. Well, 2 for Villa, 1 for Liverpool, but that's it. And obviously that earlier kick-off. 3-0 Brighton against Spurs, if you didn't know. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Respect for admitting when you're wrong. And not many are able to do that, says Southpaw Love Sports. I think it's part of life. It's part of life. No, we don't, you know, the sooner you realise that your farts smell as much as anybody else's and that people get things wrong, the happier we'll be. Because we do. You know, we all want to be right, but we're not right all the time. Leeds are now 2-0 down, says JB Music and Rafi Farid. Let's have a check at the stats. Remember, we are sponsored by the OneFootball app today. It's a free app. You can download it, link in the video description. It's on Apple and Android. Really good app. You can follow all your clubs that you like to follow. You just go to the following bit. I'm Manchester United, and I can see that they're talking about Mandzukic again. Piss off. Daniel James. So you get all your highlights there. But if you go to matches, it will show you all the latest matches. And I can tell you now that Celtic have beaten... No, we're not looking at that. If we go to the Liverpool versus Leicester game, statistically, possession has dropped. Liverpool were around 60% the first 20 minutes, but it's now at 55%. But more importantly, they've had 7 shots on target to Leicester's none. That's pretty damning. One of those has been a goal. Total passes is actually 249 to 198, which I think always gives you a gauge of the way the game is going. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I think the first 20 minutes, Liverpool had more domination of the possession. Leicester did very little. The last 20 minutes, Leicester have come into the game and more, but that's allowed Liverpool to get that first goal, catching them on the break a little bit. And it is actually half time in this game now. Mane with the abs out says, I can't remember who said that. It's whizzed by me now. Mane showing the abs. Liverpool won 18 times. Said that. So we'll stop the timer, and I'm just going to mute my radio as well because it just makes it easier for me. So let's stop, reset, drop that down, mute that down. Okay, so we are 0-0. I'll take that out for about 12 minutes. So we can have a little bit of a chat about that at half time. I mean, look, I predicted Liverpool would win 2-0. I'm not too surprised by that. They've got their one goal. I think it was always going to be a very difficult game for Leicester. And I think, when you look at it, how many teams will go to Anfield and win this season? I think Man City against Liverpool will be a good game. But Arsenal have already been there and lost. I think Chelsea would lose there. Chelsea have already lost to them at Stamford Bridge. Spurs will lose there. United will lose there. Liverpool's and City at the moment are just so much better than everybody else. They've got two of the best managers in the world. They're miles and miles ahead of anybody else. And Leicester are a good team, and I don't see the result today. I mean, if Leicester got a draw today or a win today, I think it massively enhances their top four chances. But if they lose today, which is probably going to happen, I don't think it really causes Leicester a problem. If I was Leicester, and I'll have a look at the fixtures now for you with this, but if I was Leicester, I would be looking at the fact that you're third in the league, you're going to be still probably top four even if you lose this game, because Spurs have already lost, and unless West Ham and Arsenal win, which maybe they will, you might drop to fifth. But after the international break for Leicester, they've got Burnley at home. You'd expect them to win that. Southampton away, and then they've got Burnley at home, Southampton away, Crystal Palace away, and then Arsenal. And if they can take 9 points from those 4 games, that's where Leicester's top 4 hopes are going to be based on: can you beat Palace away? Can you beat Southampton away? Can you beat Burnley at home? That's where the point accumulation is going to matter to Leicester. It's not really what they do against the top 4. You've already beaten Spurs. Maybe pick a couple of them off, but they've got to go and win those types of games against the teams that are in the bottom half, because that's always the difficult team. That's always the difficult thing for teams that are aspiring to be top 4. Zayn Mayasi says, Mark, what happens if you get stick with Pogba as his value has dropped? He's been rubbish ever since he joined United. His attitude is awful and he's lazy. You might go sell him for less and take a loss. Apart from Real, no one will buy him. I don't think Pogba's been rubbish, to be honest with you. I think Pogba is probably Manchester United's best player. He's being played terribly out of position at the moment, which is very frustrating. He's not a centre defensive midfielder. But his value will drop, of course it will, because he's not going to sign a new contract. And if United are having a bad season, how's his value going to increase? So I sort of partly agree that United should have moved him on in the summer because he wanted to go. So I would agree with you on that one, Zane. Mark, what have you made of Liverpool so far? Says Hussein. Look, I cannot stand Liverpool Football Club because I'm a Manchester United fan, but because they're a big rival, I sort of moved past this last season where I suppose it's not a resignation because I don't resign and I don't give in, but I do have a respect for them, which is hard to swallow, because I think what Klopp's done is he went in from day one with a philosophy that was very apparent with worse players, and they've gradually got better, and now they're just unstoppable. I saw them against Sheffield United last week, and I thought for a long time that was going to be a draw, but then Henderson makes a mistake. So they do get bits of luck. We saw it last season with Pickford in the Liverpool derby. But they are, you buy your own luck as well. You buy your own luck by keeping clean sheets. If you keep a clean sheet and they are defensively good, and then you've got attackers who can score goals, the goal that went in last week against Sheffield United, well, it's still a shot on goal, isn't it? It's not luck. You get more luck the more things you do around the penalty box, whether that's defending well or creating chances. So, Liverpool are a very, very good team at the moment, and they've sort of done it in the right way because City are all about ridiculous amounts of revenue that they're lucky. Liverpool have built a club again with the right manager, the right people involved, the right spending, the right sales. So, look, I don't like Liverpool, but I do respect Liverpool, and at the moment they're probably one of the better teams in the world. So that's what Leicester are up against, and I do like Leicester, but Leicester are sort of like, to be honest with you, Leicester are a Poundland version of Liverpool, aren't they? They don't have that infrastructure, that quality of player, but they've got a very good team, and I never expected Leicester to get something today. And I think the title, where will Liverpool drop points? This is the problem that City have got. They've already dropped points to Norwich and Spurs, but where will Liverpool drop points? I think City could get themselves into a situation where they've got to beat Liverpool home and away to have a chance of winning the league. It probably is going to get stupid where you've got to win every single game, because Liverpool look relentless. And another thing about Liverpool as well is they never get injuries. And the interesting thing is, the owner of Liverpool owns a baseball club that did that whole Moneyball thing, where they buy players based on they buy players based on their injury records, etc., like that, and they don't have much of an injury record. Every player is analysed in a proper way, and they bought very, very well. So again, it's not luck that people like Mane and Salah and Firmino and Fabinho and Van Dijk are hardly ever injured. Whereas you look at United already this season, Wan-Bissaka, Martial, Pogba, Rashford, Lingard, so many injuries. Liverpool have had none, and yet Liverpool have probably played the more intense games because they press more and pass more. Mark, Trent's wearing the pink boots, the bloody pink boots. Zidane's probably taking the piss, isn't he? And it's not Spurs Day. Bayern are losing at home to Hoffenheim. Gold Piece Prosperity, that was from Jordan Such. Gold Piece Prosperity says, let's call for duties, super surcharges, tariffs, taxes and additional levies on Liverpool and Man City. That's how all governments operate anyway. Penalise the winners. Well, you know what as well? What I would say is that, Pavin, you're right. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we are live. And also, please, if you do like the channel, please download the OneFootball app. It helps the channel out, and it is free, and it's a good app where you can get all your stats and follow your club and get your latest news. It's on Apple and Android. But the issue that you have is that there is no... I can't see anything changing very, very soon with what's going on with Liverpool and City. And I think to close that gap is very difficult because they're so well run. They've got lots of infrastructure. But also, I mean, look, I did want to say this, and I'm glad we've had the opportunity to say it as well. It's ridiculously hard after Champions League football or Europa League football to go and get a result on a Saturday or Sunday. It is. It really is. And the teams that do it, I take my hat off to them because it is hard. It's hard. You play on a Thursday or you play on a Wednesday or you play on a Tuesday, and then you're playing a team at the weekend that hasn't played. You look at Spurs, they got annihilated on Wednesday night. They go to Brighton. Brighton are rocking, and they've not had a midweek game, and they go at them in an early kickoff and they get the result. I still think Spurs shouldn't be getting beaten 3-0 by Brighton, but, Bayern Munich played midweek, they're losing. Dortmund, I think, were losing as well. Liverpool played midweek on Wednesday night as well, but they've got... they're at home, and they're trying to win a title. It's a different sort of mentality, isn't it? And I think United might struggle tomorrow because they played on Thursday night away. So, and Arsenal played at home and it's home. So, that I think it isn't easy. You do see a lot of teams dropping points because they played midweek. Would you take Poch if he gets sacked? Says Zeb Hain. I think there'd be an element of risk if you did that. Certainly. Luke Haynes says it seems like you low-key support Liverpool. You don't know me. I mean, that's the sort of blinkered sort of tribalism that still exists in football. I don't, I support Manchester United, but I think you've got to get realistic. All right, I don't like Liverpool. What do you want me to do? Sit here and go, they're shit, they're lucky, I hate them, they're crap, they're a load of rot, they're just, it's not, they're not, none of those facts are true, are they? They're not. They are a very good team. They have bought well. They have brought a manager in who has a philosophy. They've supported that manager. They've promoted youth while also bringing good players in domestically and from abroad. They've done everything I wish we'd done. If you come on this channel, and if you go through the back catalogue of this channel, a year ago, I did a video saying Klopp is the closest thing to Sir Alex. They hadn't won the Champions League and they hadn't had their title race. A year later on, I still would say it because he's got... The way he uses his fullbacks reminds me of how United used to use their fullbacks with Neville and Evra or Irwin, and that's what United do. United used to do under Sir Alex, was use the width, get the fullbacks bombing forward. Liverpool do that. You look at the team itself, an attacking three players that are exciting, full of flair. United used to do that. And then a mixture of British hardcore talent and foreign talent as well, and a strong spine. United used to do that. So there's similarities between Klopp and Sir Alex in relation to how they build their teams. Very different in the way to their philosophy of playing football, but very big similarities in relation to how they build their teams. And United fans are so obsessed with we're trying to be the next Sir Alex, and unfortunately, our biggest rival are the closest thing to it because of the team that they've built. I'll put my earpiece back in. It probably is going to get back to kick off very, very soon. We never played Neville like TAA, says Robert McDonald. You never watched United then, mate. I mean, I love those sort of comments, Robert, because you clearly never watched United when we had Gary Neville. The amount of times when I think of Gary Neville, I think of him busting a gut to overlap Beckham to whip a cross in, and he had a brilliant cross on him. Go back to Euro 96 as well. People go on about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a very, very good right back, and they judge Gary Neville as a right back on him stood there with Carragher, holding hands on the Sky Ports punditry. Go back and watch Euro 96. Watch some of the crosses that Gary Neville was putting in for goals. I think it was his cross against Switzerland. He was a very, very good right back at getting forward. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is a brilliant right back going forward. I'm not taking that away. His set piece delivery is good. Zayn Massey says, Mark, why don't you get bored watching United at the moment? Would you get Kevin Keegan in? He played exciting football with Newcastle. Zayn, I think Zayni Massey should be your name, because your logic is crazy at times. Kevin Keegan, yeah, right. But no, do I get bored with watching Manchester United? I was talking to a Spurs fan this morning, and they were like, I'd never watch United. And not many people are watching Spurs at the moment, but I'd understand why somebody would get bored watching United. But when it's your club, you don't turn your back on it, so you watch it, don't you? Yeah, I wish we were playing better football. Of course I do. Did you hear what Neville said about Fred? Says Lovro Denick. No, I didn't. If you want to pop it in there. And United and Neville taught me what overlapping fullbacks meant, says South Paul of Sports. I think people just want to be critical of United, don't they? And pretend that, everybody, it's like people want to think that Man City's team or Liverpool's team now is on a par with United's treble winning side. Get out and walk, go and do it for a few years and then maybe, but not now. Ollie will be sacked if there is no backing in January, says Ads. Well, Ollie should walk if there's no backing in January. Flip it that way. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're very close to 94,000 subscribers. All you got to do is click the bottom right hand corner emblem and subscribe, or do it through the video description. And if you have subscribed, please do share the video. There's a share button underneath on Twitter and Facebook. You can share it. Liverpool is better than the Treble United winning team, says Mr. Silas 209. Where's the block button? Even though it was a contribution, I blocked him. We will not have that nonsense on here. I mean, look, I respect this Liverpool team, what it's done. I don't like it, but I respect it. But you're talking out your arse. And I guarantee you hadn't even dropped out your mum's chuff when United won the treble in 1999 as well. So sit down. Rebel Dog 8 says, Zayn, don't get high from your own supply. And Neville said Fred is lazy and needs to go. Spanish. Well, I'll look into that for the show tomorrow. That's very interesting to know that. Coin Toss says that Liverpool's team is better than any team United ever had. 08 United side was better than Liverpool's team as well. Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney, and Vidic and Ferdinand and Evra, and a very, very much better team than any of the teams around at the moment. But this is a good Liverpool team. Can it go on to be a team that gets brought into those sort of conversations? I mean, look, what I would say is Arsenal fans always say the invincible team is their best team. It's not. The best Arsenal side I've seen, and I'm old enough, is 98 when they won the double. The invincible team gets thrown about because they got a Premier League trophy that was wrapped in a Yorkies wrapper. They drew 12 games. It was a great achievement to go through a season unbeaten, but they ground out that. They got a lot of draws. The best Arsenal team was the 98 team. The Chelsea team was good in 05, I think. But the two best teams in the Premier League era are the treble-winning team of United and the 2008 team of United, because they should have won the treble then. They were robbed by a referee in the FA Cup against Portsmouth. But can Liverpool or Man City become one of those teams? I think Man City have got to win the Champions League and win the Premier League again. I think Liverpool have got to win a Premier League. You know, I think Liverpool fans will say, "Oh, we're better than that," but you haven't won the Premier League yet, and until you win a Premier League, then you won't. I've got to answer this one. Mark, you took a massive L saying Martial will outscore Aubameyang. That's from J. David. I don't ignore these sort of comments because I think context is so important. So we're kicking off for the second half. And I'll come back to that question, don't worry. I don't bottle a question, it's fine. Time is running good. Okay. Can Leicester get back into this game? I don't think they can, but let's wait and see. I did say that Aubameyang can outscore... Martial will outscore Aubameyang this season. I realise that it was a controversial statement to make. I totally understand that. But I'm not scared to make a controversial statement if I believe it. And I thought, based on the pre-season of Manchester United and the fact that Anthony Martial was going to be our number 9, I felt that Martial would score around 20 goals in the Premier League this season. And that's what Aubameyang did. So I thought, you know, it's a logical thing to say. Yeah. Ooh, good chance by Salah. Ooh, big chance. Trent Alexander-Arnold again. Good save, says Josh Byrne. But, look, if you say who's going to be top goal scorer this season, I'm not going to say Aguero, because Aguero always misses a couple of months with hamstring issues. I think if Aguero played every game for Man City, he'd score 30 goals and be top goal scorer, but he always gets injuries. Martial will not outscore Aubameyang now because Martial has missed 4 games. So, you know, I think when he got injured after 3 games, he had 2 goals in 3 games, which is what Aubameyang had. And obviously Aubameyang has scored every week since Martial's been injured. So Martial's not going to catch him, is he? But it was always going to be difficult anyway. Wan-Bissaka or Trent Alexander-Arnold, a few people are saying, or is it just Badger LFC? Badger, you're going to get blocked because you're just spamming. 0-0 Watford and Sheffield United. Trent Alexander-Arnold at the moment because Wan-Bissaka is a brilliant defender, but this is his first season playing for a big club. Trent Alexander-Arnold has won the Champions League. He's fantastic going forward, and I think I think Wan-Bissaka's a better defender. Trent Alexander-Arnold's way better going forward, and I think you've got to go with the forward, haven't you? But I think Wan-Bissaka has got the potential. I mean, what an interesting... If Wan-Bissaka improves to the potential that he's got, then... Liverpool are going to get a second goal in a minute. They're catching... Leicester are trying to play forward. It's them all the time at the moment. But yeah, it'd be interesting if Wan-Bissaka does fulfil his full potential. You've got 2 fantastic right backs, and only one can play for England. Cam Sandy, I will answer your comment because it's boring the shit out of me. It just keeps popping up there and it's just irritating me, so I'm going to answer it. I had said before that United have had loads of injuries and Liverpool don't get many injuries. Mate, you've listed 4 injuries. He said, what about Alisson, Gomez, Matip and Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain? That is 5 injuries, right? I can probably triple that with Manchester United over the period that you've had those injuries. United get a ridiculous amount of injuries. But more importantly, all those injuries to those players, well, you've got a good backup goalkeeper. Alisson's quite relevant, I suppose, but... When was the last time Mo Salah was injured? When was the last time Firmino was injured? When was the last time that Mane was injured, and for how long? Why was the last time Van Dijk was injured? Villa are 3-0 up. Well, my view on Villa, says Alex, what's my view on Villa? My view on Villa is this. I will tell you what my view on Villa is. I was very impressed with them. I was very impressed with them against Spurs on the opening day, and I thought they ran out of energy. And I think that midfield that they've got with the likes of a Grealish and a McGinn, I think they're a good team, and I think they will stay up, and I think that's all that they're bothered about. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We're getting close to 93,000 to 94,000. In fact, I can give you exact total because I can see into the back system. That's what she said. We're on 93,953. So we're 47 subscribers away from it turning over to 94. So if you've not subscribed, bottom right-hand corner, please do. And if you have, please share it on the on your Twitter and Facebook with the share button. Right. Zayn, I think Zayn is actually, I've got a theory on this. Zayn Mayasi makes so many contributions that I actually think it's a celebrity fan. I think it's like Robbie Williams or someone like that. I do. Because you've got to be a multimillionaire to be making contributions like this. And then on top of that, most of the contributions he makes, whilst, no one's going to snub them, they're not always the most serious comments either. So, he says that Zayn says this time, Mark, the best team in the Premiership has been under Pep, and the best player in the Premiership is Ronaldo. Also, Mark, do you think in your lifetime United will win the league? Well, maybe I scribbed that comment. Maybe it's not Robbie Williams. Maybe it's Liam Gallagher. Because to say that the best team in the Premiership has been under Pep, that's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He bathes in oil every night, and he can buy whatever he wants. And he's got a very good team, but he's never won a Champions League. So it's definitely not. I have to send a super chat to acknowledge Zayn M, says Bosun Aking Rugby. And he's related to Sheikh Mansour, says I am Sachs. Yeah, maybe, because he obviously thinks that Man City have got the best team in Premier League history, which he hasn't. You can take one player out of the 99 team and put him into our current team in his prime age. Who would you choose, says Payne. Keane. Manchester United need a captain. What do I think about Martinelli, says Free Bobby. I think he's a good player. I think Arsenal's youth and Chelsea's youth looks way better than United's youth, to be honest with you. Or it could be Noel Gallagher. Yeah. Imagine that. I'd hope it wasn't Liam or Noel Gallagher, because they're massive idols of mine growing up, and I'd hate to think that they were making alias super chats and not telling me that they watch. So if it is you, give us a call. It won't be. So at the moment in this game, we've had nearly coming up for 10 minutes of the first half, and Liverpool just in control at the moment. You feel the second goal is coming. Can Zayn buy Manchester United, says Jay Singh? I think he's a City and Arsenal fan. And Sarub Chowdhury says, Mark, is it me, or when players leave us, they somehow get better? Just for example, Evans looks decent as a backup, way better than Jones. That's from Sarub Chowdhury. I mean, Johnny Evans actually was centre-back with Nemanja Vidic and Van der Sar in goal when we broke that record, the Premier League record for consecutive clean sheets or not conceding goals. So, you've got to be a decent defender to do that. Johnny Evans was always a decent defender, and I do agree with you to a certain extent that he used to get a bit of stick at United, and I was one of those players that was happy when he went. But on a level of Phil Jones, he's way better. Is he a top 4 centre-back, Johnny Evans? Not really. But he's a very good Premier League centre-back, and he was at West Brom before this. He's come to Leicester, and he's playing in a team that wants to go in the top 4. So let Liverpool free kick here, edge of the box. Doesn't do anything. Luke Edwards says, I can't believe Spurs have conceded 10 goals in 3 days. What the hell is going on? 10 goals in 2 games as well, Luke. They're averaging 5 goals a game. How many did they concede against Leicester? Was it 2? 12 goals in 3 games. They're averaging 4 a game. Leicester probably follow the money all philosophy too, says Prazan Rao. And Adam D10 says, who are the best defensive midfielders in the league? Well, get involved in that in the live comments, everybody. For me, I think we are blessed. We are blessed in this league, and I think we've got the two of the best CDMs in the league playing in this game today. Fabinho is a player United should have bought. I absolutely think he's brilliant. And Didi as well is brilliant. Obviously Kante, if they play him there, Kante's there, and then that's the three for me. Fernandinho's good. Fernandinho's good for Man City as well, but what interests me the most is that side netting for Mane. What a chance that was. This would have been a great goal between Salah and Mane, and a good tackle by Evans took it onto Mane's foot. Couple of 1-2s with Salah. Second goal's coming here very quickly for Liverpool. You can feel it. Apparently there's been a red card at Everton as well. Interesting. And everyone who's saying Matic, you're having a laugh. Red card for Seamus Coleman. I didn't fancy. And Revenite says second goal for Liverpool is coming. Definitely is coming. Everton's defence is garbage, as Big Akoff. Well, interestingly, Everton against Burnley. Everton were on top in the first half. Stays 0-0. They've now had a person sent off. I've been saying for weeks Marco Silva will be the next manager casualty. He will be sacked next, and it's definitely looking that way. But can Burnley go on and get a result? Rodri is good, but he's only been there 5 minutes, says Lee Ballington. Oh! Radio update. This isn't me getting excited. Radio update. Forest are winning 1-0 against Brentford. I know a lot of you will find that funny. I don't know. I mean, while it's 1-0, Leicester can get back into this, but I just don't. I don't think it justifies the performance anyway. I think Liverpool have been so good in this game against a very good Leicester side, but it just shows you the quality of Liverpool at the moment. That they could be 2 or 3-0 up. Well, Leicester have got a corner. Would you spend 100 million on defence or attack? Says William Hagan. United now need to go with attack, don't they? Chris Waiting, got something in my ear. It's called the radio, mate. And what I'm looking at is your live comments. So yeah. Another corner to Leicester. Alexander-Arnold just clearing it out. Still half an hour to go in this game, you know. Thoughts on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deleting this Twitter, says Yusuf Ahmed. Well, at the end of the day, a manager of a Premier League club shouldn't be on Twitter anyway. They shouldn't. Cal Decky says, would you prefer Manchester United to beat Arsenal, City or Liverpool? Definitely Liverpool. That's the biggest rivalry, isn't it? Who should Chelsea sign with money they get from Hazard? I think Chelsea will buy, and I think they'll buy well now they've got a manager they can trust in. Abramovich will spend money. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno Fernandes went there, to be honest. It'd be just typical. Zane says, did you know Shearer nearly joined United? Do you think he would have beaten Rooney's record? I'm glad Shearer never did come to United, to be honest. We did absolutely fine without Shearer. This is what people say Shearer snubbed United, but then they don't look at the facts. Like, when we could have bought Shearer in 96, we won the double, and he wouldn't have made, we won the treble in 99. So I don't think, and then again, I can't remember I can't remember the times we tried to sign Shearer, but all around that we were winning the Premier League. So yeah, it would have been nice to get Alan Shearer. Like, I wish we'd got Paul Gascoigne, but it's 4-0 to Villa. Up the Villa 4. I'll keep just doing these tweets. But no, I mean, look, Shearer. I don't feel that. I think it's more of it should be more of it's more of a reflection on Shearer's career that he didn't come to United. United did perfectly well without him. Can Leicester get back into this? Will Liverpool start to drop off in about 15 minutes if it's 1-0? Robin Young says it's 2-1 in Hoffenheim against Bayern. I don't know how long's left to go in that game. Let's have a quick look at what's going on across the boards. Please do download the OneFootball app. It's free on Apple and Android. The link is in the video description. You get all your latest news on your clubs that you support. You get all your stats on there as well, which we'll go through in a moment. They are supporting the stream today, sponsoring the stream for us. So please give it a download. Links in the video description. It's a really good app. Let's have a look. Scores. What do they call Bundesliga, isn't it? The Bundesliga. 90 minutes. They're in the 90th minute. Bayern Munich are losing 2-1 to Hoffenheim at home in the 90th minute. Dortmund drew 2-2 with Freiburg. So that is a very surprising result indeed. But Bayern Munich will still win that league. What a win for Villa, though. What a win. You can't fault it. You can't fault that level of scoreline, can you? Leicester are going to get a draw today, says Shiramia. Akanji scored an own goal for Dortmund in the last minute. Luke Hines says, I swear you pull all your info out your backside. What? Luke, you had to make a contribution to tell me that, but then you didn't tell me what info I'm pulling out my backside. Freddie Mercury, my opinions on Gary Neville going on Fred is it's the same old stuff, isn't it? They go after players that suits their agenda. Why would you go in on Fred and never talk about Jesse Lingard? It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I have to verify whether this is true. I do rate Laurent Blanc, Alex. I do. But he would be a risk. But no more of a risk than most managers that we went for. I mean, I like Ancelotti. Let's have a look. Gary Neville, Fred. Good chance for Firmino. Firmino chance, says Ethan Kelly. Good chance for Firmino, just wide. Liverpool need to get that second goal to put this game to bed, because Leicester ain't getting two. Hazard has scored for Real Madrid, says Adam D10. I agree with Liquid. They don't want to call out Lingard because he's English and from the academy. But I do agree with that. But the problem is that it's not. It doesn't work. It just sort of dilutes their opinion. So we've got about 25 minutes to go in this game. Wonder if Everton will hold on against Burnley as well. And there was a chance for Vardy there as well. Vardy's missed it, says Ali Joseph. Yeah, good chance by the sounds of it. Robertson a chance. We need to. I tell you what we need to do. You can download the app, OneFootball app, in the link in the video description. But we need to check out the stats on this game because Leicester are growing in confidence, but the chances. Let's go to matches. Liverpool, Leicester. You can actually start voting for your man of the match in this game across all the games at the moment. Sadio Mane is current leader, but once you get into the last half an hour of the game on the OneFootball app, you can start voting for your favourite player as well. But statistics, 54%, but shots on target, 6 from Liverpool, none from Leicester, which is, it's actually saying that Leicester have had no shots on target at all, which is quite interesting. But Leicester have had more or less the same amount of passes and possession as Liverpool, slightly ahead for Liverpool, but not massively. They've just not been able to create anything opportunity-wise, and I think that is testament to what Liverpool are really. They're just so good defensively as well as obviously offensively. Right. Let's have a look at Lincoln Jack Donomy has made a contribution. Hi Mark, can I be a moderator for That's Football channel? Also, would you break the Deutsche Bank for Julian Nagelsmann or head down south for Eddie Howe? If anyone else, I'd go for Howe. I'd go for Laurent Blanc out of those two, to be honest with you. To go back to the Laurent Blanc point, yeah, that's what I would go for. And The Rock says, Mark, did you hear about The Rock and Tyson Fury both appeared on WWE SmackDown last night? Would you ever do a wrestling watch along like the Rumble? 10 years ago, I wouldn't have watched along for the Royal Rumble because I used to watch wrestling then, but I just don't know who everybody is now. I mean, I know who The Rock is, but I just don't watch it, to be honest, but I used to love it. If Pochettino did leave Spurs, who could you see being the next Spurs manager? It's a bit. I tell you what, and we can talk about it on this channel because it is for everybody. And the Spurs job, where they would go next, would be very interesting. Would they go for a sort of an up-and-coming manager like a Nagelsmann or whoever, or would they try and get somebody more established like a Simeone or someone like that? It'd be very interesting to see which way Spurs went. Knowing how Spurs spend money, I think they probably would go for the up-and-coming manager, and it worked well with Pochettino. Martial and Pogba ain't been playing, so Gary Neville needs someone else to pick on that ain't English, says Marvin. Milan. Would you rather miss a year's wage or watch United do the treble again, says Alfie Tugwell. I think as long as you were telling me that was going to happen, I would budget a year off without wages and take United winning the treble. Yeah, it'd be worth it. Definitely would be worth it. I'm just going to take myself off for a minute. I'm still here. I'm just going to stretch my back. Oh, I played a bit of football this morning and I'm just very stiff. So I just need to stretch it out a little bit. About 20 minutes to go into this game. Can Liverpool get a second goal and put this game to bed? Or could Leicester get something out of it as well? We're about to wait and see. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, Shearer was a legend. How can you diss him? Shearer is God. Fernaldum nearly there. Breaking Bad movie next week, says Aaron Morrissey. Yeah, exactly. Who should we sign in January, says David? Who's who? Who's we? I presume you're talking about Manchester United. He didn't diss him. He just said we didn't need him, which is correct, says Ellie. Exactly. And E. Cording says the ex-legends of Manchester United must be getting paid off by the board or something to stop any negativity implicating the Glazers' propaganda. If that ever came to light that was true, I can't imagine that. And there we got the goal that we all predicted. Burnley score. Marco Silva is going to get the sack. He is. He will be the next casualty, I feel. Down to 10 men, Everton. Better team in the first half, but insufficient performance from them today. Yeah, Burnley 1-0 up. I know Manchester United fans do not want Liverpool to win the Premier League, but I just can't see no one stopping them at the moment, says Benjamin Turner. Well, look, I predicted that Liverpool were going to win the league before a ball's kicked. I don't want to be right on that, but I don't make a prediction that our biggest rival are going to win the league lightly. I think Man City have always got a Crystal Palace like last year or a Norwich like this year. Liverpool, I can't see where they're going to lose. I think the only team... Well, Pratt's just hit a really good shot for Leicester and it just went wide. Good shot, just wide. I mean, 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go, just under 20 minutes to go. This is where Liverpool have to be a little bit worried because Leicester will go for it now. And I don't think it will finish 1-0. I can see it being 2-0 or 1-0. 2-0 or 1-1. But I still think Liverpool will get out of it. Yeah, True Geordie on the United stand. He doesn't really do that sort of stuff. So True Geordie on the United stand tonight, talking about the Newcastle-Manchester United game, talking about Ollie as well. Keep your eyes out for that. That's going up. And we've got a very good interview this afternoon with James Cooper as well. That is already up on the channel if you want to go and give it a listen, or a listen, as I call it. In fact, let's just have a look at how that's doing. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Bottom right hand corner, we're very close to 94,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're new. Do the FIFA stuff on here. That's back on Monday. Watch-alongs, Premier League preview each week. Lots going on. Just going to show you on the OneFootball app, which you can download as well, the latest ratings in this game for who is the best player, which you can vote for. Mane's running away with it, to be honest with you. Vardy's in third, Salah's in second. I suppose Mane deserves it, doesn't he? That he's been the difference. Tom Hall says, Tottenham are playing crap because I picked some of their players in my fantasy Premier League team. And Freddie Mercury says, if we sign Mandzukic in January, I'm going to cry. Mate, you and me both. You and me both. It's not that he won't. I'm not saying Mandzukic wouldn't come in and score goals. It's just the footballer that he is. And his age. He's 34 in May. Like, he'd be the oldest player in the squad. It's ridiculous. Charlie Austin scored. I didn't know Arsenal were playing. West Brom, he plays. That's the real Charlie Austin, not the French one. 3-0 West Brom. Liverpool on the attack at the moment. Origi's coming on for Liverpool. Darren Tock says the gap between the top two is huge. It's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. I don't know what's just happened to my screen. That's a camera issue. What the bloody hell's gone on there? Well, I'm still here, but we've just lost my camera for some reason. I don't know why that's done that. In a bloody live stream as well. How do we fix that then? Has the camera just died? Torts on what's happened. It's an old camera. I've gone all grey. Some people said that for a while. I'm still here. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're still watching the game, but I'm trying to figure out why we've lost it, and how I can keep it going without breaking my stream. So I know what to do. Let's try this. Plug it out. Plug it in. I think it might have broken, everybody. It's a really old camera. I do need a new one. Oh, this is really interesting. This is really weird because I've never had this happen to me before with this camera, and you can't see what I'm doing anyway, can you? Oh, bog off. Bog off. I'm just going to keep talking while I'm not here, but what a prat. We've lost my camera, which is... I'd rather lose it now, to be honest. I'd rather lose it now. Here we go. If this opens up, we might get work. We might be able to get it back, people. We might be able to get it back. But I'm still talking. We're still here. Origi's on for Liverpool with about 10 minutes to go. Can Leicester get back in? No, it's not. It's not bringing me back. I'm really pissed off with this now. Goldbridge doing a best Lingard impression. Keep talking. It's fine. Says, oh no, I'm not going to go anywhere. And we got a goal. We've got a goal for Leicester. Maddison has scored. Oh, what a bloody pain in the arse that I can't get my camera to work. Bloody love Maddie. I love Maddison. I bloody love Maddison as well. That's right, pissed me off. I can't get my camera to work and Maddison scored. Boom shakalak. It is a goal. It is a goal. People are getting it later and later, but it is a goal. It's 1-1, and that is what a lot of you have predicted. And I've got to be fair to you and say, you've got it right. 10 minutes to go. Doesn't mean it's game over. Does not mean it's game over, but it's a significant goal in a significant game, and it's James Maddison. Sign him up. Maddison scoring at Anfield, and it's 1-1. And Liverpool fans, what have you got to say about that? Klopp will be annoyed. But Maddison scoring at Anfield, 1-1. Good shot, good right-footed shot from Maddison as well. Took it well. 1-1. Can they hold on? Liverpool will go for it now. That's the problem. But if I was Leicester now, last 10 minutes, watch out for a penalty and just hold on. Hold on, that's what you got to do. Anybody who's tuning in, my camera's broke. So I'm just trying to find a way to get it back at the moment. But we are still live. And I will be back with my beautiful face as soon as I can. But we've got 10 minutes to go in this game. I'm multitasking. 1-1. Unbelievable, some would say. I wouldn't. I think it's... Hello everybody, I should be back with you now. Hopefully everybody can hear me in the live comments. I did a silly thing. I was trying to update my camera and it closed down the computer. So it took me 3 or 4 minutes to get it back up and running. And actually I'm here. I'm here. Oh, this is even better. It's even better. Things are getting better and better. So it looks like we've got a goal for Liverpool late on as well. No, we haven't. We haven't. Don't worry about that. But I'm back. Back, Bridge. Back for the end. And I tell you what, I hope that... let me just get my radio thing back on as well. There's not been a goal. Don't worry about it. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Let me just get this back for you. There we go. Right, we're back. It's 1-1 to Leicester. 1-1 to Leicester. Well, it sort of is 1-1 to Leicester, isn't it? So, but fantastic result for Leicester if they can get over the line with this. Really fantastic. I can't speak highly enough if they can do it. So it would be superb for them to do it. Oh God, why have I've lost my bloody radio stream now. There we go. Penalty to Liverpool. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Always happens. Penalty to Liverpool. I got back just in time for that. I don't think there's any doubt about it at all. I don't think it's a penalty. I really don't think that's a penalty. Well, he's always going to score. Milner scores 2-1. Milner doesn't miss though, so that's really disappointing at the end of the day. But that's you know, that's the way it goes, isn't it? I don't see Liverpool not winning this title. (2-1) to Liverpool then, and that Leicester performance that's been so strong. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be good enough. It will be a Liverpool win, and this is it. Whatever happens, you know, the reality is I can't be a hypocrite. I thought it was a soft penalty, but the contact's there, and it's the same as the Rashford penalty against AZ that he didn't get. It's the same as the penalty on Kingsley Coman that wasn't given for Spurs against Spurs. That is a penalty, and I know it's soft, but the point is, if the defender puts physical contact on the attacker, they've got every right to go down. And you know what? They didn't want to overturn the referee, whether they bottled it or not. It's not technically a penalty. It's not technically a dive because there is contact. He exaggerates the contact, but the contact's there. There's no way he should go down. There's no way he should go down. And, you know, there is an element of gamesmanship there. But in the modern day, it's the way it goes. And to be honest with you, Liverpool have had the better chances in the game anyway. And I never expected Leicester to win this. But harsh on Leicester. But ultimately, the penalty decision... The VAR's there, isn't it? You know, if you want VAR, if you don't want VAR, they've got that. They've got that. There's a bit of a fight on the pitch, I think, as well. It's going off, apparently. There's people talking about all sorts going on the pitch. Perez having to be restrained apparently here. Well, I mean, that's not going to change the result. The reality is Liverpool have lost. Liverpool have beaten Leicester 2-1. I feel for Leicester. I think they've battled to get a point there, and maybe they deserved a point at the end. A good goal by Maddison. But this is something that I've seen for years as a United fan under Sir Alex Ferguson. That ability to go and win games again and again and again. They did it. I mean, Henderson's mistake last week gave them 3 points. A penalty late on's given them another 3 points. On another week, Liverpool would have had 2 points 4 years ago. But this is it, under Klopp, this relentless ability to go and get results, 17th straight Premier League win in a row. They're relentless at it. They're absolutely relentless at it. And is anybody surprised? I mean, it's annoying, it's frustrating. If you're not a Liverpool fan and you don't want them to be winning league titles like me, it's very frustrating. But at the end of the day, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not shouting injustice, because they keep doing it week in, week out. And at the end of the day, you don't buy luck. You know, they're not buying these results. That penalty has gone to VAR. It's been seen by 2 people. 2 people have seen that penalty, and 2 people have said it's a penalty. And that's the referee right on the spot and the VAR. And people will argue and say, well, the VAR persons have bottled it, but this is high-end Premier League football. They've looked at it, and there's enough contact there. And I can't be hypocritical about this. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I didn't want Liverpool to win. I really wish it had finished in a draw, but I can't be a hypocrite about this. I've always said, people who say it's a dive when there's contact, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. If there is contact, it's a penalty. And Mane 100% makes an exaggerated movement, but there is contact on his leg, which is why he does the movement. He's like, it's my lucky day, it's Christmas. Last couple of minutes, we're looking like we're going to draw it. I've cut back. There's not a lot I can do in the box here, and this Pratt's touched my fucking ankle. It's a penalty. He's gone down. it is a penalty. It's the same. We got one with Marcus Rashford against Leicester 2 weeks ago. Not much contact, but he leaves his foot there. It's a penalty. And actually, we've had a week this week where referees in Europe have not given penalties for those scenarios. We had it with Rashford in Holland, where the player took him late. We had it with Kingsley Coman against Spurs. I mean, they didn't need another goal. They won 7-2, where he takes him late. And people are going, oh, he's dived, he's exaggerated. Especially with the Kingsley Coman one. They said he dived, but it isn't a dive. They need to. What I'm saying is, maybe you do feel aggrieved. Maybe you do feel it is a penalty. But what I'm saying is, the rule is not there to take that goal away. And Ethan's saying it's not a penalty at all. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm sorry to say it is. Because the rule is not there. Until they change the rule, it's a penalty. I'm not saying that Mane and everybody else doesn't exaggerate it. But if you are a striker or a winger and you're in the penalty box and you're running into the penalty box or you're standing still in the penalty box and you feel a contact on your leg and you go down, every VAR referee is going to give it as a penalty because they can't move away from the fact that there's contact there. I think if there was no contact on Mane, it's a dive, it's not a penalty. But you need to understand this because nobody more than me wants to say that's not a penalty. Nobody more than me wants to say that's a total injustice. But the reality is, there's contact, it's a penalty. People have been saying this for years. It's a dive, it's a dive. It's a dive when there's no contact. If he touches him and he then goes down, it's exaggeration. It's gamesmanship. But I've always said this right back to for 20 years when I was playing football myself. I'd say if there's any contact, I'm going down in the box because you're the idiot who's touched me. It's not my fault. And in the modern day, you don't get a penalty if you stay on your feet. So, would you rather your striker of your team tomorrow or this afternoon gets contact, you're watching it on Match of the Day and he doesn't go down? Oh, well done. You're so honest, Mane. 1-1. Leicester get a point. Or, oh, Brighton's touched my leg, I'm going down, I'm getting the penalty. And to be honest with you, if that's my striker, if that's Martial tomorrow, I'm applauding him. I'm sorry, because the Newcastle defender's touched his leg and he's gone down. And I know it's frustrating, and I know it happens a lot with Liverpool. We've seen this happen a lot with Liverpool. But the point is, he has made the contact, it's a penalty. And Nuruddin D saying there's no contact, mate. Look, it's gone to VAR. If there's no contact, it's no penalty. It's the contact. And I get the frustration. But what I'm trying to do is just say, if that's my man, if that's my striker in that situation and they exaggerate it, then it's a penalty. Sometimes we get so angry and frustrated, but it really is. It is a penalty. I'm sorry. The letter of the law says it's a penalty. I agree. You know what? Maybe they should change the rule and say if there's contact but you exaggerate it, then it's not a penalty. But the rules is if there's contact in the box and it's a foul, it's a penalty, and that's it at the end of the day. Disappointing for Leicester though. I really hope that Leicester do continue to do what they've been doing. My camera looks like it's going to continue to do what it's doing. It keeps jumping, which means it's on its last legs, which is great. I need to sort that out for the watch along tomorrow. But Liverpool get the win. I expected them to get the win. I think they're going to be very hard to topple in the title. I think Leicester, you know what? Leicester City deserve a lot of credit today. Liverpool struggled to break them down. Leicester got their goal, and I think on another day they might have got the point. But Liverpool have got form for this. They keep grinding out the results. They're going for a Premier League title, and Man City are going to have to go some to stop them. And the reality is, that's the reality, isn't it? We are in this situation now, whether it will be Liverpool or City who win the title, which as a United fan is absolutely very, very hard to swallow. But look, good luck to Leicester. I hope that they can bounce back from that. I said at half-time, Leicester have got games that if they're going to get in the top four, they've got to go and beat Southampton. They've got to go and beat Burnley. They're the games that will get them into the top four. If you get points against Liverpool or City, they're bonus points. They ain't going to, they're bonus points for any team that finishes in the top four, whether it's Chelsea or whoever. So fair play to Leicester, good performance. They need to keep their heads up. And Liverpool, look, are we surprised by this anymore? I think at the end of the day, Marcus Albrighton needs a telling off. He didn't need to do it. A stupid thing to try and do in the box, and he's cost Leicester a point. But to be fair, I can't say that the Liverpool centre back didn't cost Leicester a point at Old Trafford 2 weeks ago. Stupid tackle in the box, 1-0. So maybe Leicester need to be a little bit more disciplined in the box because they did all the hard work. They got back into the game. Thanks everyone for watching anyway. Sorry you lost me for a few minutes towards the end, but we saw the key bits. Thanks for watching, and I will speak to you all very soon. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you download the OneFootball app as well. The link's in the video description. Really good app. You can get all your stats from the games that have gone on, all your score, all your news for the teams that you follow. And I've disappeared again. Look, it's gone again. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon.